in law, for personal injury attorneys, the average, if I win for you, so I don't get paid until the case is over, and we win, is, so let's say it's 30%.
Yeah.
But one of the quickest ways to just add pure net profit is to raise your fee. Same thing is true in any industry, by the way. So whether I am doing 30% or 35%, 36%, that's a negative if I'm laying out people like firm A versus firm B. Well, why don't you just address it in your first video? Why our clients are super happy to pay higher fees with us?
Yep.
And let me explain what that means. Is like you can go with a non-trial lawyer who's going to try and settle as fast as possible, or us who are proven trial attorneys, and then you can lead it. So that's the frame. And then you share, let me tell you a case study. And the insurance company was trying to settle for $1 million. We would have gotten paid, let's say, or you could have paid firm A $300,000. You kept $700,000, or that case came to us. We went to trial, or we pushed it all the way to trial, and we settled for $11 million. And so, yeah, you paid us a higher percentage. So we made $3.6 million, and my numbers are off on that. But you just made $7 million. So what do you want? What do you want? Do you want the $700,000 at a lower or higher percentage, or do you want that? That's a framework that you could run as a simple little video ad that will attract people to be like, "Hi, you're more expensive, but this is the place to go to."
Yeah.
You could do that in any type of medicine. Like, hey, so let me explain why when you come to our clinic, people are happy to pay us more than the guy down the street. Like, number one, when we do all your XYZ hormone levels, and when we run you through this panel, and we do that, it's a X $100 fee, and then our stack is this. Well, you can go elsewhere where they just do everything for free. You can do that, but they're just going to run you through that, and patients tell us that. And that's your frame. And so guess what? When people walk in, they know you charge more. They know that it's an investment. With stem cells specifically, and we've talked about this, training our teams and training our clients is stem cells start, 5,500 minimum, but everyone hides this. Why hide it? It only creates frustrated leads that are expecting to pay less. Now, if you lead with a condition, like let's say, hey, you have inflammation in the body, and you're wondering, is it peptides? Is it just because I have low testosterone? It's a little more sophisticated question.
Yeah.
Or are you considering stem cells? Well, we have good news, bad news, and we at our clinic we talk about good, better, best. We go, this is our good options. Here's our better, and here's our best. And when you come in, we're going to try and find the best option for you. But you tell us the pathway based on all our different options. You're in control. There's no one pushing you. There's no one pressing you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people think, like, oh, like, are you doing like high pressure sales when we say sales guy? Like, it's not at all. It's really the opposite. The patient has all the control in everything that we do. But again, it's like you said. It's setting the frame.
I see. Sorry, Scott.
You should be in the video.
Yeah, right. Just so everybody knows, this is at we actually have my house. This is my dog. So the one thing that happens is that when people come to our trainings and they work with us is you're taught a couple of things. One, how to sell without being salesy. Number two is how to present without ever the prospect or lead feeling like they're being pushed or sold or aggressively handled. The framework, when done properly, is people are coming up asking how quickly can they get started, and then you've already mentioned this. Literally, when they ask one question, they're really just saying like, okay, here's all my issues, here's my problem, here's my age, here's my thing. Will it work for me? And if they qualify, it's a simple, it'll be perfect for you because of reason one, reason two, reason three. Correct?
Yeah. Well, I think, like, just going back to the price thing real quick, too, just the reality is that people value things at what they what they paid
They
for.
invested, 100%.
Right. And so it's they did a test with this with wine, right? And they had people do a low budget wine, a middle level wine, and a high level wine. Had to taste them all. They put the prices in front of them, and every single person, literally, I mean, probably 99 out of 100 picked the highest price as the best, right? And then the middle is the next,
right?
and the low is the lowest. They were all the exact same wine.
That's crazy.
Right? So it's like people, literally our minds would make us appreciate something more, like something more, value something more just because of what we spend for it. But it's not about that. I'd always tell people, it's great to have high prices if you're like outdoing everyone on value, right?
Yeah.
If you're giving them so much value that what they're paying is, 1/10 of what they should be paying because of what you're giving them. And I think of, I'm a Disney guy, so I go to Disney a lot, and I'll spend more to go to Disney than I will to go to Six Flags, just because I like the experience better, right? People complain about Disney and
because it is better.
Prices, 'cause it is better, but it's more expensive. Right? And there's a lot of people out there that just want the best thing. I would say, the most expensive treatment is the one that doesn't work.
Right.
So if you go to a place that doesn't do the right treatment for you, they don't know what they're doing, they're not giving you everything you need, then you're not giving the value. And so they wasted their money. Even if they, that 30%, 35% that you talked about, even if they spent a little less but got zero result, but they spent a little bit more over here and got the result they wanted, the most expensive treatment's the one that didn't work because they got zero for their money. It's all about value we give in return. And so our whole system is based on, we find out from you, the things that you're doing in your practice and how do we take those things and build the biggest value package. And the system kind of shows you how to do that. Like we won't necessarily do that for you, but the system building these value packages so that you are the one that has the unique package that is most valuable, so you can charge the most, but they love paying the money for it because it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the easiest things we've talked about before is like, what does it cost? Just in anything. Because by the way, people are going to be asking in a moment, like, what does it cost to work with Dr. Scott? And it's always the wrong question, right? Because the first thing is that they fail prospective patients and people watching this right now. You're failing to ask the right question. What is it costing you right now and every day, and for the last year, in the last 3 years, last 5 years, of you not having a system that's predictable, proven, and is going to bring in high-paying cash patients into your practice? That's the right question.
Yeah.
Because now you know what you're measuring up against. Like, okay, if I spend $50,000 with Dr. Scott, is this going to bring in 1 year $500,000, but increase my enterprise value by $2 million? Well, then are you willing to spend $50,000 to get that result, right? And you could break that down in simpler terms, like, would you pay $5 to get $50? Yes, you do that all day long. Would you pay 1 to get 10? Yes, you do that all day long. And so you're just asking on a different scale. Now, it's not going to cost you $50,000 out of the gate, so you can relax on that. But it's one of the frameworks we use when we do things in the seminars as well. So what I want to do is go over, Scott, just a few things on like the 8-figure Regen Profits licensing program that you've developed and like what the system is. So when we were thinking about, hey, you want to be able to impact a lot more people by working with clinics and business owners and people that are seeing a lot more patients, the highest form of leverage for us, right? What is the best way to do that? Because everyone has seen coaching clubs that are just pure coaching clubs, and a lot of people have just like hired agencies that you're just expecting the agency to do everything that you want. But the problem is you don't have the right messaging, and they're going to give you the cookie cutter messaging that they used on the 30 other clinics, and you're wondering, why is this not working for me? And it goes back to what we talked about earlier about like people are going to be attracted to you because of your unique story, your unique purpose and mission for people, and we'll talk about how we can help you articulate that. The other thing is you're not reaching enough people, so you don't have a one-to-many presentation. And if you've heard this before, you're probably like, well, I know, but like I tried to do that on my own and I really sucked at it and it didn't work. Well, it's kind of like dating. Like if the first person you ever dated didn't work, none of us would be married.
Right, exactly.
Our kids wouldn't exist. Like, just quit.
And it's just like they say, like, if a kid stops trying to walk after the first time he falls down, he's never going to walk, right?
Yeah.
But like, no, you don't give up. You keep going. So
the first thing that we're just gonna talk through, what you get when you work with us, is you're gonna get the licensing rights. Licensing rights means everything we're about to go through here, you get to use while you're in our licensing and mentoring program, which means you're never going to be alone. You're not going to have to guess anymore. You can escape the roller coaster income and wondering and wishing where this comes from. And the first part of that is the 8-figure workshop licensing system. With that, you're going to get the stem cell webinar and PowerPoints and scripts that Dr. Scott equips with his teams that are in the field right now, generating. Are you guys is 7 figures a month minimum?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like months fluctuate, but they're doing it right now, and we want you to be able to capitalize on that. Now, one of the questions is, and we'll get into peptide and hormone optimization seminars in a second. That people always ask is, okay, great, I got that PowerPoint, I got that thing. One of the first questions people ask is like, well, how do I fill that thing? So let me just answer that right from the get-go. You're going to get the exact ads that are proven, that work every single week, that we run every single week. I mean, the stats show it. We're getting leads from anywhere between $4 per lead to $10 a lead. I'm not promising that's what's going to happen in your area because every metropolitan area is different.
Yeah, like they're up and down, but you will have probably some of the best cost per lead you've ever seen with our ads.
Yeah, and how much have you spent over the last so many years testing, tweaking?
Literally, couldn't tell you. Easily $10 million. Because one of the things I left out is I had a very large marketing agency at one point where I did this for doctors. So this isn't new ground for me. I love helping doctors. I'm excited to kind of get back into it to help their clinics. But so I managed millions of dollars a year of ads. And so got a lot of experience. Yeah,
so you're going to get the ads, the PowerPoints. The same is going to be true for the hormone webinar, hormone replacement webinar, as well as the peptide optimization webinars. Now, in full disclosure, peptides are coming out in a rapid pace, and the best ones in the stacks are coming too. So we are rapidly building that and innovating with you. That's part of being a member of the program. You're going to have first dibs on all these opportunities. No one's going to have
all the new stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So that's number one. So you're going to get the licensing rights to use the exact framework, model, whatever. Now, every week, and I might be jumping ahead of my list here, but I'll talk about this because goes to number two. The automated one-to-many sales funnel. Now, there's a difference between having the ads and the actual thing, but also having the exact pieces of the full system that you could literally install into your business. Now, I'm going to tell you, we have partners that could do all this for you, but what we want to make sure with the licensing, and we've priced it accordingly, is that our main focus is innovating the proper messaging and mentoring you and having that availability, which is one of the reasons why we decided we are not going to operate as an agency to run your ads. In fact, instead, we're actually going to introduce you to the exact agencies we work with. So I think it's better. I mean, it's their
100% focus. They kill it for us. We know we'll do it for them. And they know our processes.
And the value, let me ask you a question. How many agencies have you worked with in the past that have failed and just were awful?
It's literally why I had to learn and start on my own.
Yeah.
And it's why I started a marketing agency. And so, it's how I ended up developing this entire system.
Yeah.
It's because I was continually trying to figure out, how do I make it easier for my doctors? How do I make it easier for my doctors? How do I get them better leads? How do I get them? And that's all of that has gone into where this whole program came out of.
Yeah.
It's just, trying to help doctors be successful in their practice. And I think we do it better now than out there.
I love it. So number 3, 50K in 10 minutes. So when you enroll, one of the first trainings you're going to receive is how to generate 50K in 10 minutes. Now, literally, so the training is only 10 minutes long, and you're going to be given swipe files and exactly what to do, but it is literally for the fast movers that are serious about driving cash and profit and revenue and kickstarting it. Now, why are we making this available and it's the first thing you receive? The reason why it's the first thing you receive is because we want any relationship you have with us to be a no-cost, free investment. Meaning, you put down your deposit on a credit card or wire money or whatever it might be, and you deploy your first campaign to either existing patients, dormant patients, your local area, and we just are very confident it's going to put a minimum of 50K back in your practice. What do you want to have in that?
No, first time we ran it, so this is something that I did in my practice. In my regenerative practice. And first time I ran it, we did 78,000 like in 36 hours.
Wow.
After running that program. And then it's one that I have rolled out for other doctors and whatnot, but we're holding it back now just for licensees are going to be the only ones that are going to be able to use those.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to get into it, but there will be more of those coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, we're going to have, I'll get into it in a second, but then we're going to be handing you guys, actually I'll skip to number 6 and I'll come back to the, but no, I mean, because what it lends perfectly into the next one, which is like our 12-month marketing calendar. So when you work with us, every single month you're going to be given a marketing calendar plus the recommended offers to send out. Now, everyone's practice or clinic's a little bit different. So, but what we do know is, guess what? November, Thanksgiving, college football. In December, you have, we have Christmas, Hanukkah, we have so many things. But what I always found, and people totally miss out on this, is that you can run the same promotion for like the Christmas holiday season, and then in 4 days run the same one to end the year, and you just use different coloring, different makeup, different offer, but it just pops, man. It pops. Yeah, so it's the same promotions you can repeat again. So go ahead and work.
Yeah, so you always have to be keeping things fresh in your office, and that's the thing is, so many people will get into, okay, I'm gonna hire this marketing agency, they're gonna start doing this, and they just do the ads and they do the marketing, they try to get people in, and then they just kind of go back into work mode. They stop doing anything new, they stop sending out new offers, they don't keep things fresh in their office. And that's what you have to do to keep this thing perpetually going. And so honestly, with a lot of the clients that we have, that was the number one thing that they loved from us, was us saying like, okay, this month we're gonna run this.
Yeah.
And we run it and they get instant cash flow. And the next one, we run it, they get instant cash flow. And so we're putting all of our brains, I'm putting all my marketing mind and all that together to create those for every one of the doctors. And so you'll be able to run them, and you can bring out new services with it. You can, bring other services back to life. That
you're sitting on this stuff.
Right? We're not sitting. This is the whole ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Well, can we talk that for a second? So, the thing is that we are in our business every day, right? We're in our business. So we think that people are actually thinking about us today, and they are not. And so even if you sent, hypothetically, which is why, by the way, if you're watching this in November or December, now is already too late. You got to get rolling to get momentum in January, February, March. Like that's just, you're always working on 3-month cycles, right? But like you say you send something out like on 21 days of Christmas, and because that's a theme, right? Or is it 25 days?
I think we do both. I think there's 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah, that's actually what I was saying. 12 days of Christmas. Yeah. And let's say you're doing like end of the year with a new body, new life, or pain-free, whatever it might be, but you ran that same promotion on January 1st, and you're like, wow, people are still responding to this, but I just sent this to Mr. Jones last month. Guess what? Last month he was busy doing what he was busy doing. He wasn't thinking of you.
He wasn't waiting for your ad to pop up.
He wasn't waiting for it. So that, being prolific is always better than being perfect. It just is, flat out. And so we'll equip you with all those tools, those assets, what you can look at. And also, and I'll get into the mastermind too, but the fact that we're doing weekly trainings, you're going to get to hear like what's working in different clinics. Actually, I'll just hit that point on, or actually, no, I want to hit that last this fast. Number 4, because I'm working backwards, so I'm on like number 5 right now, but high ticket patient conversion system. You alluded to this a little bit earlier about like just training the front desk and the assistants or whomever. Can you just talk a little bit about more of that framework and what's so important to have a full spectrum conversion system?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people the first time someone sees, and I'll just go through the full conversion system. First time someone sees you online, they're deciding if they like you or they don't. And then they take that next step. And maybe they watch something online or they, go to a dinner and they go there. And what they're doing the whole time is they're trying to figure out a reason not to trust you. They're trying to figure out a reason like, why is this off? Why shouldn't I do this? Do I really want to go to this office? And that's what we all do. We're always rating, judging, trying to see like if this is the right thing for us. And so if they see something online and you give a bad presentation, they're like, I don't know about that kind of, they come to a talk and you can't talk about money and you get all nervous and like, it's $10,000 and they bring up some kind of number and they get all nervous about it. They're like, this guy's not really confident in what he's doing. They come in and your staff is rude. You lost that person. You come in and the staff's great, but they go back and the medical examiner is not listening to them and they're just doing everything the way that they want to do it and da-da-da.
Yeah.
There's so many touch points along that road that have to be fine-tuned so that it's a well-oiled machine, because any one of them wrong will get that person to be like, I knew it. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And someone said, and this is a little bit outside of that, but kind of in the same realm. A guy told me one time, he's like, Scott, no one's going to come to your office because your garden beds are beautiful and because your grass is mowed. But they will definitely turn around from your office if your bed's full of weeds.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And your lawn isn't mowed.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
So it's not like there's certain things you have to do, and again,
it's not a deal maker, it's a deal breaker though.
It's a deal breaker.
Yeah,
yes.
Good point.
And so, like, one of the things that I realized, I had to start taking half a day at my office, and I stopped seeing patients, and I would just meet with my staff, because I realized when we were going, man. We were busy. We were seeing patients, helping patients. I didn't have time to go back to my staff. How are we answering this? Let's listen to that phone call. Let's, that kind of thing. And so, I'm not saying you have to do a half day thing with your staff. We can help show you the simple things that your staff can do to make this, and you at least give them those parameters. Because right now, they probably haven't heard or listened to one of their calls or done anything to, look at how that whole process is going in their office. And I'm telling you, sometimes people find out things that are going in their office and they're like, I can't believe it. I can't believe how much money I've lost. I've probably lost, if they lose 2 patients a month, they're losing 10, 20 grand a month because of one system that's not in place or they're doing something wrong. And again, it's, we always say, the big doors swing on little hinges.
Yeah,
it's the nuance.
It's
the little things. Like, that's what I put in our licensing system is like, what's everything they need to do? And then we can get those things to the right people. Because our job, we're not trying to make a doctor busier.
Yeah.
We're trying to give you all the leverage points to get your office to take off.
That's right. That's right. Well, and then just for everyone watching, if you're not aware yet, intake is obviously a critical limiting factor that if you don't have a retrain, it's just going to be a bottleneck in your business. And then the other thing that's very important when working with agencies or whatever is like, what AI should we use? So we're going to be a mentor on that rather than the installer of all that. And I think you're going to appreciate it, why, and we'll go more in depth on that. But the other thing I've always found is like having your team trained by other people than you, number one.
Yeah.
Because frankly, we're the business owners. We're going to want to get upset, frustrated about it. Quick story is one of the doctors we work with. was saying to me like, these leads just aren't really that good. And I was like, well, all right, well, let me listen to a couple of the phone calls. And I did. And he had one of his favorite team members jumping on calls after the person had already watched like the interview where he explained the whole service and everything they were got. Pretty much talking the patient out of coming in because she was trying to like educate them on what are stem cells. She wasn't asking that. She literally said in the first minute, I want to book an appointment with the doctor, and I have questions about it. Where all she needed to do was get the appointment and say, Dr. Scott's going to be excited to see you, blah, blah. But here's what I want to share with everybody listening, right? This doctor, before he came to us, had already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on elite level practice building coaching that his staff knew better, but just because they knew better doesn't mean they were being trained, optimized, and supported. You know, that's another way of saying following instructions and following the SOP.
Yeah, definitely. So when I had my chiropractic practice, there was a group that would go around the country and they would do different meetings, in person, and we could bring our staff there.
Yeah.
And I always loved that because I wanted someone else to tell them so they knew it wasn't just me saying, seeing other practices around the country that are doing the same thing and it's working, right?
No.
And so we will do that and bring that to their team so that, we're letting them know just reality, right? We don't have emotion. We don't have a relationship we're trying to protect or any other things. It's just, this is how it is. This is what's going to work. This is what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so that way we can kind of be, I wouldn't really want to say the bad guy, but we said the kind and the loving parent, right? The loving coach. Yeah.
Well, but in reality, we all know it's like we're just trying to set up higher expectations with the best practices to support our clients. And when we would run seminars all the time, like I'd see offices come in, and the business owner would come up to you and be like, "Yeah, I'm just really curious if this one and this one are going to be engaged in up level or not." But here's the thing: if they don't. They're doing, we're going a little sidetrack on team, but this is super important because this will be your critical bottleneck if we don't help you fix it. If they don't, they're doing the biggest favor ever for you because now you gave them the opportunity, you created the best practice coaching, you put it in a good environment with good people who care about people, and if they are still not up-leveling, well then they're making their own choice and decision on it. It doesn't have to be, it's just not, hey look, we're just going in a different direction with our business. And we're going to be working with these. This is what we do now. Like, this is the new behavior. You're just making it sound like you don't want to be part of it.
Yeah. Talk to them ahead of time and say, hey, this is where we're going. Do you think you can do this? And they say yes or no. If they say yes, you bring them along, and then you're able to have that hard conversation. Like, look, I really need you to be able to do this. I got to get someone that can do this. And so, obviously, we're not a good fit. Wish you the best. Give you good recommendation anywhere. Because probably what happens is, you don't have a right place for them, or they just can't excel in that thing. Who's to say they might not be good at something else and whatnot? If they have a great attitude and all that, right? That you can still do that. But honestly,
the opposite is true though as well.
So 100%.
You put an A player that's underdeveloped into a developmental world, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, now we're measuring. A lot of times I heard a good quote like, and I want to go on to the next topic because we can talk about team all day long. I mean, for some people, they're like,
it's one of the biggest
cortisol levels are just bouncing.
But here's the thing: it's your biggest leverage point if you get the right people.
Yeah.
It is. But what are you gonna say about that?
Oh well, no. The thing is that a lot of times mistakes are like, well, how good are they right now versus how quickly are they trying to improve and improving? Yeah. Because the person who's like bought into your vision wants to be there, and they're they got to be smart and they're able to they have to have some talent. But if they're improving rapidly, well, that person's going to grow with you. The mistake I found in a lot of types of clinics, practices, firms, right? Because when the seasons are going well, the owner tends to create rewards and benefits and structure that they heard this one guru say, you should only be working half days, 3 days a week, and you should be netting X dollar. Well, then the person gets into that, the economy's booming, life is booming, so everybody's working like 3 days a week, half days. Susie doesn't even know what working on Friday is because she's been getting 3 days off, and all of a sudden, you're like, you know what? I want to grow. And Susie's like, dude,
Look, I can't go to work.
I'm only out. What do you guys?
I do stuff on those other days.
No, man. Like, this is crazy. Because sometimes we're like, you guys a lot of this, you don't realize it. Like with AI and like, you have people messaging your office at 8 a.m. on a Friday, and if no one is responding till Monday at 11 a.m. because by the time they actually, like, what are you doing? Those prospective patients are gone elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so the conversion system inside the business, and we were talking about like helping you find, hire, and train someone when you're ready to replace yourself. But then there's also the lead conversion system on a monthly basis to get the leads into the practice. And retargeting, Facebook, Instagram. Now the reason why we're providing this for you and these opportunities is because your agencies are only going to do small bits of this. They will never take it to the customized level that we provide with our licensing clients, because guess what? The better we do a job for you, the better you do, the longer you stay with us. That's our goal. Mm-hmm. Your $1 million Rolodex, right? So the $1 million Rolodex is when you're in the program, we open the kimono completely. You get to see our ad agencies, our SEO agencies, our local search ad agencies. Keep going, Scott.
We work with some of the top people in the marketing space, CEO space, business building, scaling, private equity. We're just in on so many different fronts of business and sales and marketing and groups and agencies and all that we pull from that.
Yeah.
And we're trying to build the best thing possible. And I think that we are. And literally, you get all that coming in, but you say, oh, I need this in my practice. Oh, I got that. I've got someone who's done great with that. So believe me, if there's something you need in your business, typically we can find, the people at the top of the field that aren't going to, be that typical agency that takes your money. That's why we have one that we recommend that does our stuff. But yeah, we've got the best people. We've worked for, 20 plus years to build out that Rolodex of folks that.
Yeah.
Do people know what Rolodex is anymore?
A Rolodex is your network. So you hear the phrase, your net worth is in direct correlation to your network.
Yeah.
And so when we work together, the value is that if you have a problem that needs to be solved, we have a solution provider if we can't solve it with you, for you.
You and I have both been kind of known as connectors and just kind of known everyone and connecting people. So we do that for the offices. And the thing that I love about what I've been able to build, and you obviously did it with dentistry in the sense that we basically went out and went to people that weren't in the field. So it was like, I didn't talk to a bunch of people in medicine.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Or in chiropractic. I was talking to people doing 50 different types of businesses.
Right.
And I started to learn, because it's just like, so many innovations come from outside industries. Right? So it's just like, I was literally just teaching my daughter last night that we just went back to Columbus, Ohio, and I was telling her that the first Wendy's was there, and the only reason they had a drive-through was because Dave Thomas was driving through a bank one day, and he said, "Oh, I want that in my restaurant. I want to be able." That's where the drive-through window came from the bank, for the banking system. So, and that's a lot of what we bring is it's really kind of like a lot of our connections in our brain too about how different businesses work and bring it into this field, and that's where a lot of the innovations come from. Is really pulling it from other industries that most people are so stuck in medical that we deal with that they've never heard of it before.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, who was doing seminars before any of us were live? Like probably real estate, all that stuff. Politicians.
Oh, politicians. The first one was in Marion, Ohio. President Warren G. Harding.
Is that right?
The Front Porch Campaign. First time people came from around. And that was, I know this, I lived in Marion, Ohio, but also Albert Lasker, one of the first copywriting, marketing, and advertising gurus, wrote a book, Selling the Presidency. It was the first time this does not have anything to do with anything, just my nerdy marketingness, but it was the first time they used direct response marketing for a presidential campaign.
I love it.
Warren G. Harding, Albert Lass.
Well, I'm not going to share it, but I was going to say, like, where I stole one of the key elements of the 50K cash search campaign, and we did this in dental practice, hundreds, maybe thousands of dental practices, came from something I saw like on a book offering. Like, remember those old book offerings where they get you on, and then, okay, I'm not going to share it with you guys because this is actually what you got to hear in. But there's a small distinction. And the only distinction is that usually when someone buys something or does some kind of action, you send them what's called a bounce back letter. What a bounce back letter is that they bounce back. So they visited your place of office and now they're going to bounce back. But the way the offer is structured is the difference between getting a 10% response and getting a 30 to 50% response. And I stole it from John Carlton.
Yeah.
Who's a legendary copywriter in the book publishing world. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant. We're adding this to dentistry, to practice. It works like gangbusters. Okay, so number 7, we're going to keep going. Number 7, so you're going to get our vital factor spreadsheet and profit analysis. So the reason why this is so important is because you're going to have opportunities to jump on the mentoring trainings with our even CFOs and our experts that we bring in to help you analyze your numbers and get profit coming out of your business. So I'm going to skip through that. I just know that like taking home cash and profiting are the true numbers that matter. Your revenue, your number of patients, blah, 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 number of employees. Those are all vanity metrics. The profit is what we care about. Okay. As a bonus for the first 10 who or our next 10 that jump in, you will get one of our $1 million interview methods, which is what you're kind of seeing right now, which is this is what we do all the time, and we run the trainings. But what we found is that a video podcast converts so much better for professional practices than solo people speaking straight to a camera, talking like a podcaster, or selling. Now, that's different, by the way, than doing a one-to-many presentation, that you have a full presentation. The reason why you want both, and I charge, you'd be paying minimum $15,000 to get one of these interviews. But when you stack a workshop, virtual or in person, so as you know, is a webinar or a lunch and learn or dinner, and then you also have the interview, you are immediately stacking and layering 2 different authority assets, 2 and 2 is 4, so I like this 2, where they see you on stage or somebody on stage in your practice, and then they see you as being interviewed. You are going to be considered the foremost authority in your marketplace. We'll show you how. We'll use AI to help chop up all the pieces, and instantly, in less than an hour, you're going to have so many assets that you're going to deploy to raise awareness amongst the patients that can come into your office. Okay? Now, I want to talk about money, and then I'm going to see if there's any other last comments you have. Mike?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I'm not going to tell you what the investment is yet, because guess what? The investment is only going up from here. So, after watching this video, I highly recommend you click on the button below, and you'll see the current investment opportunity. I will tell you that if you are doing things correctly, it'll be equivalent to around the value of one good quality patient that you bring into your office. And then the monthly licensing fee is for ongoing use of the rights and ongoing optimization of all the marketing that our team builds out for you and Dr. Scott creates. And if at any time you decide, hey, look, I'm going to cancel my licensing, not a problem. You stop paying, but you also simultaneously can't use the licensing materials anymore. Otherwise, you should be making 10, 20, 30 times what that fee looks like a month. So, so what questions do you think you'd want to answer or address before we let everybody go to the next step?
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where I think most doctors, really every doctor that I've worked with in the past has needed some type of system like this. I mean, it's the only reason we created it is because, well, first of all, I wanted to do it for myself.
Yeah.
And we've seen the results with it. I mean, really what I want to come back to is my goal is to help other doctors to grow their practice and to really expand my reach to help more patients and help change doctors' lives, because I've been in the place where maybe you talked about numbers. Like I didn't know my numbers. Like it looked like we were making a bunch of money, but we weren't. At the end of the day, it's like, where's all my money? Like helping doctors even with that. I mean, they may have a practice where they could keep a lot more. They're just not because they don't have things structured right, etc. So, like, we just want to be able to help people do all the right things to be able to become successful, to help patients get the care they need. Because so many docs are losing patients for reasons they don't even know. And there's so many that people are going to be beating down the doors for peptides and regenerative medicine and all these things. We want you to be positioned to be able to take those folks, help people, and be the one that they're looking for, and be the top that makes the most money, helps the most people, and you become the most valuable clinic.
Well, even though you know what's so crazy with that, and then just I want to piggyback. Then I want you to do the final close, your favorite close.
Oh.
You actually teach people how to do
My close,
But on that, there's really a first mover advantage out of this, right? Like we all know peptides are booming now, and they're only going to boom more.
Yeah.
I get to see anybody doing a one-to-many workshops, especially for local businesses. Guys, listen to me. You have such an advantage that nationwide businesses don't. Like you think, oh well, it's nationwide. They're gonna have so many more people to sell to. There's truth in that in some levels. However, you are the one-eyed king in the land of the blind when you do this kind of stuff locally, because nobody knows how to do this. Mm-hmm. When you try to go nationally, it sounds like it's more attractive, it's sexier, all that stuff, but you're competing with all the nationwide big money players. Locally, you're dealing with Bob down the street who he might drive a nice car, he might do whatever, but Bob just wants to go golfing or do his thing and look good and work this. You had a one-to-many leverage point marketing system, combine it with a 24 touch points throughout the year, because that's part of our marketing calendar, and with all the mentoring and conversion, you're going to be at a completely different place in 6 months, 9 months, 3 months, 12 months from now. It's not even the same world. The real question you got to ask yourself is like, well, what do I want? Is this what I want? Is this what I want to try and accomplish? Is this what I want to be a part of? Is this where I want to keep up leveling? And if it is, we'd love to have you. If you're totally cool, you're a giver, you're a contributor to other people. So when we do our mentoring and masterminding stuff, we don't want a room full of just takers only. We want the multiplied testing effect, which means if he's testing stuff and I have 22 other practices testing things, we all benefit from all of us testing more stuff. Yeah. Okay? As far as territory exclusive, now here's an answer, because I know you're going to ask the question. So you get to, when you join, you get to tell us 2 clinics that you'd like us to blacklist, meaning while you're part of our program, we cannot offer the licensing program to them, okay? The reason why we don't do zip codes and do cities and do this stuff, oh, well, other people do that. Listen to me, we've done it all, we've tried it all. It's nearly impossible to actually enforce it, number one. Number two is, if I have a 55-year-old white male who is ripped, jacked, and loves talking about testosterone, and I have a 45-year-old female who likes talking and working with women, we're not going to deny them both from helping people, okay? We do give them deference to rule out a couple of people they feel are direct competitors, but that's it. Otherwise, we're going to raise the awareness of everybody in your community, so guess what? More people are going to be choosing your practice because you're doing this, okay? If you're in business and you're looking to grow the business, and if you want to increase your valuation, you want to start working with more people and find a pathway to freedom, we've priced it accordingly, it's economical. Any real person would see like, look, this is an investment I can make. If you have questions, you can talk to us or our team. And with all that, I'm gonna pass it over to Dr. Scott to share his final close.
So I like to end all my videos and my talks with really one last statement, and that's just by a book by James Allen, the classic author. His book, As a Man Thinketh, he said, "Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound." And that describes most people, right? That describes our friends, maybe even colleagues that complain about the business not growing, insurance paying less, and this not working, that not working, but they're not trying anything new. They're literally doing the exact same thing and expecting something to change, right? And what's the definition of insanity? We've all been told it's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? So the reality is over the past several years, the system that I've put together has helped generate tens of millions of dollars of regenerative sales. And it's not just about the sales. It's what that really is a gauge of is how many people we help. And we've been able to help more people through regenerative medicine than probably most clinics out there or most groups. And the thing is that we want to bring that to you. And we want to bring that to help you. Now, I just want to say, if you're super happy with your current model, if you love the way things are going, you love the insurance reimbursements or how you guys run things at your office, feel free to ignore everything Ed and I talked about today, okay? You don't have to do anything with us. There's no pressure, no obligation. But I would guess if you've come this far in this video, that there's probably something you want to change, right? There's probably some aspect of your business that you want to fix. So really all I want to say is don't come up to this point, at the point of decision, only to turn your back on the opportunity to find out if this could work for you and possibly change your life like it changed mine. The reason I'm sharing this is because it changed my life. It did give me freedom. It gave me a totally different lifestyle, and I really do want to help you attain that, and I know you can because I've done this with people that have doubted themselves before, and they've doubted if this thing could happen in their town, in their practice, and everyone that they deal with. I'm telling you, you use this system, it can definitely change your life and help you become the practitioner you want to be. So you don't have to worry about all this business stuff and the sales stuff. Let the system do the job so you can deliver the service and help the amount of people that you want to help. So go ahead and push that button below, sign up with us, and I guarantee it's going to be one of the best decisions you've ever made.